Ladies and gentlemen, some news of the day here I wanted to sort of share with you. And, a popular talking point that's come up a lot since Tuesday night's debate has been sort of this characterization about the president not sort of denouncing racist groups or racist actors that he's surrounded himself with, but something that I feel the liberal media has never, ever crucified Joe Biden on, and this is something that's legitimate, is the fact that some time ago, and I remember they served in the Senate together, but Joe Biden spoke at the funeral of a former Grand Wizard of the KKK, Robert Byrd. And we all know Robert Byrd served in the US Senate for a very long time. He was probably one of the longest serving United States senators ever. And, when former vice president, and at the time, he's a senator from Delaware, went to speak at the funeral, there was like a relative hush from the liberal media. And now with the president sort of getting crucified constantly when it comes to denouncing white supremacist groups, which he's done, folks. If you go on YouTube and you go and find the footage, it's there. The president has denounced white supremacy. The president has denounced hate groups. Okay. He has denounced the KKK. He has denounced other racist organizations. Okay. And for whatever reason, the liberal media continues to insist on the fact that he hasn't done so. And again, it reminds everyone why the liberal media is so intellectually dishonest, because the footage is there. It's not like, it's fabricated. It's not embellished. It's there. He has made comments in 2017. He has made comments in 2018. As a matter of fact, folks, not too long ago, the president was looking to designate the KKK and Antifa as domestic terror groups and hate groups. So I don't know of any other presidents ever that have tried to do that. And the KKK has been around for well over a century. But God forbid the liberal media ever would give the president a win on that one. And it's a reminder, folks, that, listen, it's a big battle that we're faced with when it comes to not just the president, but anyone who identifies as a center-right person and a conservative like myself. And I know many of you are, because you watch Liquid Lunch TV and you support John Tobacco. These are the fights we are subjected to on a daily basis, folks, where the liberal media is never going to give us a win. The liberal media is going to do everything it can to just throw stuff in our face. And as far as I'm concerned, I just think it's despicable. And I know that the liberal media wants to talk about, well, the president didn't denounce the Proud Boys, who, folks, if you look at the Proud Boys website, okay, first and foremost, I've never heard of a white supremacist groups that has black people in it, because guess what? That's what the Proud Boys have. Okay, one of the leaders of the Proud Boys is an Afro-Cuban male, and he's been in the news cycle since the Proud Boys has dominated our news feeds. So for whatever reason, the liberal media doesn't want to tell you that. They just want to sort of just harp on the Proud Boys. And again, folks, go on their website. You can make your own determination. A lot of what they advocate for seems to be some stuff that regular working day Americans can agree on, right? Because isn't it all we hear now from the left? Oh, the right is embellishing or trying to discredit Black Lives Matter, the movement. If you go on the website and you look at some of their manifestos or their platforms, oh, the right is just trying to distort them. No, folks, if you look at the origins of Black Lives Matter, the movement, it's Marxist, it's radical. Some of at the hierarchy of Black Lives Matter, the movement, are people who are very left-wing. And I don't know about you, the liberal media never calls them out on it. But the last 72 hours, we've seen the liberal press, whether it's cable news, whether it's the New York Times, the Washington Post, you name it, have been going crazy about the president sort of, having to defend the Proud Boys. And again, if you go on the Proud Boys website and look at some footage of them in recent days and weeks, folks, it's a pretty multicultural organization. I don't know about you, but it seems like the liberal media, once again, got it wrong. But that shouldn't surprise you. They've been getting it wrong for over 40 years when it comes to how they depict and characterize conservatives, whether it be Christians, whether it be people of faith, whatever the case may be. All right. And I think that's where right now we as Americans are sick of the hypocrisy. Why doesn't Joe Biden get any grief about having given a eulogy at the funeral of a Grand Wizard of the KKK? And of course, the left will tell you, well, Robert Byrd had an epiphany in his later years and Robert Byrd no longer embraces. Folks, listen, I know people want to talk about your body of work. Well, the body of work is there for Robert Byrd. He was a racist, okay? He was an advocate for segregation in the South. And you know what? The liberal media never took him to task on it, and they never took Joe Biden to task on it either. So I don't know why the liberal media is going crazy now about the president not willing to denounce white supremacy or racist, groups or hate groups. He's been doing that. Folks, go on YouTube. All the footage is there. I don't understand. What is so difficult for anyone to just do that? I get it. A lot of us live in our own political bubble. a lot of us, live in this perspective of, well, maybe the president should do a better job. He's done it. Now, if you want him to be harping the drums and beating the drums on this issue constantly in the news cycle, I mean, if that's what you want, if that's what will appease you, if you're someone on the left and someone that is just diametrically opposed to the president, fine, I'll give you that. But the president's not going to do that. The president has done it sufficiently. I don't know what more you want out of him, because let's be fair, he's done it. Whether or not he has pushed for criminal justice reform, whether or not he has pushed for prison reform, whether he has looked to ask the Justice Department to look into Antifa and the KKK and designate them as hate groups. Folks, the job is being done. But that's getting lost in the argument, because all we're hearing since Tuesday night's debate is when Chris Wallace pressed the president on and grilled him extensively about his unwillingness to denounce white supremacists. First and foremost, again, he was forced to name someone, and guess what? Chris Wallace came up with the Proud Boys. The president said what he said. And if you look at, again, the Proud Boys website and you look at their mobilization, again, they have black people in there. Again, I've never heard of a white supremacist group that has black people in it. It's mind-boggling to me that so many on the left are just this convoluted. And again, I just watched some footage over the weekend about one of the leading members of the Proud Boys who's Afro-Cuban. Okay, so if you're a racist group and you have an Afro-Cuban, so you're black and also Hispanic, again, if you're a racist group and that's who is part of the membership, then I don't know, maybe something needs to change with sort of the roster. And we all know it's fake. It's a perpetuation, folks, of the fake news that's geared at us every single day by the left in this country. And listen, the president has a lot on his plate right now, having just tested positive for COVID-19, along with the first lady. As I said at the onset of the show, and we've talked about it with other guests during this broadcast, my best wishes for a speedy recovery to the president and the first lady. Is something we should not be celebrating. I'm sorry. It's something that we should not be celebrating whatsoever. And the fact that many on the left are still doing that, I don't know about you, it's disgusting. But what's even more disgusting is the ongoing hypocrisy by the liberal media to never call out the racist tendencies of many on the left, and even the Democratic nominee for president, who, once again, folks, reminder, he went to the funeral and gave a eulogy for Robert Byrd, a grand wizard for the KKK. Hey, if I didn't bring it up or other conservative news outlets didn't bring it up, you would never know about it. But guess what? Now you know, Google it, research it, and it's there. So to just denounce the president the way the liberal media keeps doing since Tuesday night is reprehensible, but should you be surprised? It's the liberal media.